Free. Yes, hello everyone. Welcome to our today's presentation, the storytelling. My name is Engin Özören. I am from Istanbul, Turkey, and one of the training managers in Turkish training department. So, welcome, welcome in these lovely days. What I would like to see from the positive side, this is the lovely days. Why? We are all belongs to with our families. If you are alone, maybe you are spending couple of hours with your very old friends. What I have already made, for instance, for the last 3 weeks, I even called all my high school friends, elementary school friends, all of them. Now my agenda is full of the WebEx calls, Zoom calls, which it increase the connection between each other. So I would like to look from the positive side. Suns are started to shining, and some little good news comes all over the Europe and even in my country. Hopefully, we will beat that COVID-19, and we will meet in the very beautiful meetings in near future. Today, I would like to share very popular topic nowadays in especially business environment is storytelling. I don't know how it is the story meaning in your own language, but in most of the language, story meaning is little aspects of negative understanding. For instance, in the very serious meeting, you start to tell something regarding that project or the business. Maybe one of your manager will say you, hey, Engin, don't tell stories. This is the real business environment. Come to the truth, come to the real world. Yes, he or she is right. Telling stories is not our main business, but we may use some storytelling techniques to convince other people to make a positive image and to use the Netflix-like business-related success in our daily life. There's the history of the storytelling is based on these two gentlemen, Giacomo Rizzolatti and Vittorio Gallese. From the spelling, you may understand they are lovely Italian science men. They founded in 1996 in their research laboratory, especially their research laboratories to understand what is the brain functions can controllable, or how we understand which part of the brain do what. In their laboratory, they were using the chimpanzees to understand the electro signals. How can I describe? They trash all the hairs, the chimpanzees, and put very thin layers of the silicon inside the brain. So they try to understand which part gives signals directly. Today, we can understand out of the brain. Maybe you see that that's like head-like understanding the sensors could easily find the electroshocks. But at that moment, they were using real chopper and the silicon thin layers. Once upon a time, when they finished all the business inside the laboratory, what they were testing at that time, which part of the brain gives our pain, which part of the brain is understanding the emotions, which part is looking for the other gender, sex related things, which part is understanding the we become thirsty. These kind of motor neural things, their research subject. And at that moment, when they one day finished the business, finished the research in the laboratory, they returned back to office. They found a signal from the computer. Giacomo looked to Vittorio and asked, is there any research continue in the laboratory? They say no. When they returned back to laboratory, they found that chimpanzees, so seeing the one box of nuts on top of the table, and they were looking at that nuts. The Giacomo liked to eat lots of nuts actually, and the chimpanzees thinking, giving this from their sensors the same signal while they are eating them. What does it mean? So they are not eating the nuts on the table. Chimpanzees are inside the walls, inside the laboratory, but they can able to see these nuts. But the brain gives the same signal of while they are eating. In that moment, they found and proved that our brain has mirror neurons. So we have some motor neurons which control all of our muscles, and we have some mirror neurons. Okay, it's a laboratory research. How we understand, we also use the mirror neurons in our daily life. For instance, these moments is a Netflix moments. So we are highly watching series, films, movies, lots of things. In some of the films, we know that inside the theater there is a giant curtain, which there is a projector sends light signals to that curtain. We know that everything is fake. There is a director of that filmmaking. There is a producer. All of them is artist and actor. We know them from different movies. And even though as a Pfizer employee, we know that that is acting. That is not real. Maybe film produced 15 years ago. Maybe that actor is died because of cancer. Even we know that one. But during the movie, when you saw very lovely scene or very sad scene, you started to be cry. The teardrops are coming without your stop. That is because of our mirror neurons. Maybe man will be say that I never cried during the movies, which I can accept. But while we are laughing at also in the movies, the same mirror neurons feeling like it is going to happen in real life. So they are mirroring what you see on the image. So after that proof of the mirror neurons, marketing environments started to use that mirror neurons understandings from the emotional way. So if you're able to cry, you will able to fall in love, or you will be see the best friend of you. So how many of you today see their iPhone is one of their friend? So this is a device, but it seems us as like our friend. Why? Apple uses high lots of mirror images, mirror neuron marketing things which familiar to us, and we feel that this is our best friend. But knowing the mirror neurons is not enough. I want to ask at that point, please write down from the chat, when you see the success on the screen, when you see the success, what it's come to your mind as an icon in the first time you see the success, what is come to you? Trophy, Monica. Stars. Let me try. Oh, oops. Let me try to do stars and trophy. Oops, sorry. With mouse, it's really hard to draw these. This is trophy, okay, Monica? Smile. Okay, this is smile. With D. Yo, Monica said smile with D. Okay. Anything else? What is come to your mind when you see the success word on screen? Happiness. Marco, what kind of happiness? How can I show? Work. Okay. Let me uh, let me do one laptop here. This is my work understanding nowadays. Drink. Okay, let me. This is beer. Okay, this is the cheer of beer. Oh, this is the foam on top of the beer. Satisfaction. Victoria, that's the important. Winning. Let me show. This is the finish tag. Okay, finish line. Winning. Finish. Finish. There's. That is the important point. Oops. If you say just success, think that you are district manager or you are a leader of organization. Even maybe inside your team, you are leading one project. If you say that, guys, let's finish that project successfully, that is not enough, dear friends. Why? All of our mirror neurons works differently. Yes, star is a correct of success. What it's come to your mind be, to being a star? Maybe the most successful one you are, so you got the star. You are the shining star. You are the only one within this project. Or maybe inside the competition, you got your trophy. You become the first as the owner of the project. So maybe you beat the other Pfizer teams to make it more successful. Or projects are not important. Let's cheers up. Even in the at the end, success mean that the friendship when we are together, that is our business. It's a success. That is the friendship. It could be whatever you want. Please finish that project. That is the success. Maybe just finishing the project. The quality, the other thing, the teammates. It's not important. Just finishing is important. Maybe just work. Always work will be a success. If you can smile or if you can laugh, that is the success. Why? World is very hard moments at the moment time. So to understand other side's success, we have to define what kind of success you are asking from them. So let's continue. Why do we use it in business life, the storytelling? Why do we use in our business life? The answer is basic, the new concept. There's inside the business, we are transforming our communication level from bowling to pinball, which it turns everywhere and turns and come and turns. So what does it mean? Before, maybe with one mailing, you are hitting the target and getting 13 points, or you are hitting that target to here, getting 0 points. And the returning back info, it is very slow and most probably it is never be happen. So that ball couldn't come back with the help of himself itself. The machine is come to here and throw it for the second chance. But in the bowling style, when you first hit the ball, it starts to turn. And if you are not very unlucky, which is come to down here, you may able to always turn the all data, turn all the information. For the business style explanation, from the last century, 20 years ago, if think that you are a manager or you are managing the one project, the plain and the direct relation, direct communication, no story telling needed, just the numbers, the case, the what happened is showing the other side, what it could be. The manager shows within the activities, sending mail, like traditional communication, maybe the real mail, not email. And this message goes to worker or the customers, okay? Then they are replying back with their reactions to you. So that's very simple message delivery and go. Receptor and decoder, that's the easy. But what happened in the last century, now we move into that bowling pinball model. So today, as a manager or as a people manager, project manager, family manager, it's up to you, but you are showing with your activities. You are showing with your activities. Sorry, you are showing with your activities plus with your traditional communication. That is immediately within your traditional communication. Think that your email, you send an email, it directly could go to the social media. What kind of social media is? The very well-known one. You say Instagram? No, no. It depends on the country, but mostly WhatsApp. Before you are answering your managers or your leader or even your one of your friends based on the message you receive, maybe you are just directly type within the secret group without he or she and started to discuss. Even sometimes you are asking questions from your other social media instant messaging channels, and the workers customers now talking with other workers and customers. Hey, have you heard our manager sent that kind of a pandemic message? What do you think about? So they are started to discuss within each other, and it return back you from traditional way, or sometimes it's from the social media. So this side could controllable, dear my friends. The left side is controllable, but now we are moving to the right. So if we couldn't touch correctly the emotions, people are started to very angry fast or very beloved fast, even vice versa. Think that you went to the H&M to buy some clothes, and this is from the H&M, by the way. Unfortunately, we couldn't go to the H&M in Turkey anymore. They all closed the shops. Just e-commerce is open. But remember the old good days when you go to the H&M or Zara or Bershka, one of the giant multinational fashion suppliers. When you go to there, this is, for instance, medium shirt. When I like the shirt, but if I need a larger one, hopefully it will be a smaller one. But if I need a larger one or the smaller one, when I couldn't find, you go to directly to one of the salesperson and ask for the larger one. If they directly say, I couldn't find, there is no more, maybe the old era, it the finish, and you react as a, okay, see you then. Now what we are doing, when he or she says no, we don't have, I checked from the e-commerce website and directly drop from the shopping center. I found that shirt in their warehouse, so I could show that my mobile phone. Hey, do you see? It says in stock. Please go and find from your warehouse. This kind of world has to be touched to the emotions. Let's see to understand how we can touch to the emotion. Dears, 47% of the people inside that kind of a meeting, now we are 87 people in that WebEx. So 47 of you, what it could be? 47 of you, maybe half of them, almost 45 of you, you are not here. In all kind of meetings, it is valid. Based on the MIT research in 2016, this is the I am not here ratio of the communities. What does it mean? Dears, even while I am talking, my brain can think different. Now I'm looking to outside of my saloon, and the brilliant air, it's shining like summer, and I thought that when this pandemic will over, I want to go outside while I am talking, huh? So maybe you think and you look to your mail. Maybe you started to board and open your mobile phone. Even you start to think from the inspirations what I already shared with you. So in your community, in one tea time, so half of the community is not here. It will be same for the 10 people or the 1,000 people in one tea time. If you are not using the emotions, technical things, you can lose at least half of your people. The second data from the base same paper, this guy has 7 seconds, and the research made with golden Rottweilers, but this dog is not a golden Rottweiler, but the picture I like, so I choose that picture. I know there's a border collie. This dog is not golden, but the picture is good. So what it could be? This guy is 7 seconds able to do, and that dog has 26 seconds. What it could be? Yes, the 8 seconds of understanding the other side. When the first 30 seconds is very important for when you meet with the first time with somebody. What we call it is attention span. Dears, in 2020, you may easily find how is your attention span if you are using Android phone or the iOS. It doesn't depends on the brand. Please go to find your screen time. Under the screen time, you may find how many times these mobile phones interrupt you daily. For instance, me with the pandemic world now, it is around 400 times. And last week average, I spent almost 9 hours in different websites. So in today's world, when we compare with the 1950s, the human mind decreased its attention span from 23 seconds average to 7 seconds average. So no matter what, you couldn't focus, you couldn't give your attention more than 7 seconds in any subject. The overall average of the Instagram stories from all over the world is around 1.5 seconds attention span. So when you see that one of your friends driving a car and watching a music, you directly see that story. And when you understand the first couple notes of the music and you understand what is the music, you directly skip to the other person. We don't want to give any attention. Why? We are in an attention storm. Everybody is sending information, mails, notifications, and even we say that that terminology, most of us, there's an indication of one of our medicine, but I don't want to tell it in this training. The call of the illnesses is, maybe you heard it before, FOMO. You know what is FOMO? Yes, this is fear of missing out. That is the reason I am opening my mobile phone 400 times a day. How it is possible 400 times? When I divide into like 18 hours a day, let me say 20, every hour I am opening 20 times, which makes 3 minutes. In every 3 minutes, I'm opening my mobile phone, unlock my mobile phone, checking what's going on, and then lock my mobile phone. I am particularly is one of FOMO, could say that. Okay, how we can deal with this FOMO in our business life, and how we can use the storytelling. The last thing regarding the storytelling, dears, the telling something with data and seeking for behavioral change. When you use the only data, when you use it within the like a chess, check and mates, using your data to prove your subject, playing like a chess, with your customer, with your manager, with your daughter, with your son, wife, husband, playing with only with the data. And if you want to change a behavior at the end of your data, you may successfully only 14%. What does it mean? A good example. I guess we are again 90 people now online in our WebEx. Most probably 20 of you, based on the global averages, 20 of you cigarette smoker. So you have a habit to smoking cigarettes. So if I start to talk about how cigarettes are harmful, how they reduce your life being long, like 12 years, when I started to explain how your budget spending yearly on that huge amount of money to cigarettes. So in other terms, if I start to check you, maybe you will find one more other direction. You may say that, but Engin, I don't bother with budget. It is only 300 euros per month. I have money. Maybe you may say. If I say, look, 12 years, the overall average life expectancy is decrease. You may maybe say that, oh, my grandfather also smoked. He died in 95 years old. You may find another space. But at the end point, one point, I will find a place. I'll check you, and you couldn't say anything, and you will be made, right? If you're a smoker or other non-smokers, you may experience that chess game within our people. So I would like to use data only. I try to convince my friend to quit from smoking, but I couldn't be successful. Yes, it is habit maybe, but if I started to use emotions, we could increase that 70%, up to 70%, which means if you use some stories, if you mix your real data with some emotions, so you may able to change the behavior higher than the only data usage. That is the reason all the brands are trying to use that emotional things. How Starbucks use the emotions to convince you? Yes, they are selling 1 kilogram of the coffee beans extremely high dollars, extremely high cost. But what they say to convince us, we are using fair trade, so all of our agriculturals get paid very well. Don't worry. You are paying maybe $5 per coffee. We are paying that $5 for 2 kilogram of coffee, but it's okay. It's fair trade. So we see ourselves very comfortable when we go to the Starbucks. So they use 70%. The last thing before the our break. Now we are in the concept age. Dears, what does concept age means? I have an example from the coffee. Do you like to drinking coffee like me? Are you addicted to coffee? All Starbucks are shut down in Turkey because of the pandemic. So people are like shaking, coffee. Where can we drink our Starbucks? It's like yes. So I think all of our 88 people already drink a coffee. Maybe for the last 2 days you drink coffee, right? We know experience regarding coffee. Then I try to explain what is concept age for the coffee. Dears, the 18th century, it's not from the papers, that's just it's my story I would like to tell. The 18th century is the agricultural age. The 19th century is, we can define that after the United Kingdom started to find the steam power in London, and they started to produce more and more, even every day. We call it 19th century. What is the 18th century and 19th century difference? In 18th century, the supply and the demand, it is high in the demand side, low in the supply side. So what does it mean? If you're able to produce millions of the item, you can easily sell that millions of item. So supply is very low, but the demand is very high. So if you're able to produce grain, you can sell it to all over the world. That's very easy. But in the 19th century, the industrial age find three steps of industry, three different pillars of industry. What it could be, if you are more qualified, more quality product you may sell, or if you produce it faster, you may sell, or if you sell it cheaper, you may sell. In some cases, these tools are can be seen as together. For instance, some products can be cheap and very fast. In some cases, sometimes products qualified and cheap. Some brands are focusing on these giant brands. In very rare occasions, some products are very cheap, very qualified, and very fast to serve market, which I could give an example. IKEA is the quality very good. When you compare with the handmade pieces, they are very cheap, but the quality sometimes higher than the handmade pieces. And for instance, the Android mobile phones, they are implementing the technology very fast, cheaper than the competitors, and very qualified devices when you check with the photography quality and so on. So after the 19th century, this is our age. The 20th century is the knowledge age. As one of the 1985 born, 35 years old, one of your friend, I in my elementary school, we don't have any internet connection, and I read all the encyclopedias like a Wikipedia, not for the researching my homework. It's like a novel, it's like a book for us. Why? Knowledge was important at that time. If you know, you will be in the higher status, you will get more income. So but the 20th century, knowledge is not very powerful thing at our moment. Why? The concepts age is arrived. What does the concept age? Thinking with the concept, thinking with the ecosystems. Let me give an example from the coffee beans. When you go to the agricultural area today, you may buy 1 kilogram of Arabica coffee from Colombia or the Brazil. It is around $5 per kilogram, dears. The raw coffee beans, maximum $3 to $5. But when they package these coffees, the 1 kilogram pack of the industrial coffee is around $10. What is the knowledge age coffee at that point? So industrial age, the coffee beans are in the can or very good sealed packages, which keeps the aroma and the freshness for ages. But what about the knowledge age coffee? What is the knowledge? Who like Nescafe today? Nescafe. Nescafe Gold or Nescafe? Nescafe in 1963, dears, the Brazil government opened one contest that they had millions of kilogram coffee in their stock, in their warehouses, coffee beans, but they don't know how to sell these coffee. So they open a one hackathon in today's terminology. Who can find a way to save these coffee beans in long time, not for a 1 or 2 years, for 5 to 10 years. So Nescafe from Nestle company, they found a way, it's patented way, they found a way to prepare instant coffee. Instant coffee. What is the knowledge behind instant coffee? In these two coffees, dears, think that the espresso, there is a ground behind. Think that filter coffee, when you pour with the water and pour with the boiled water, you are drinking very lovely filter coffee, but the ground behind. If you have tasted already Turkish coffee or the Greek coffee, which is the very small one, and drinking like this, there is a ground behind. But where is the ground behind after you drank Nescafe? Nothing left, right? One cup of Nescafe, nothing behind. Why? There is a knowledge here. First, they boiled and they pour with the water that coffee beans, and they make a filter coffees. Then they evaporate the water inside like milk powder. So the grounds left, it's already brewed coffee. They are packaging these coffees and selling. So when you are next time drinking a Nescafe, don't forget that that coffee is brewed before, evaporated the water inside, and they are serving to you. So this is the knowledge from 1974, if I'm not, they patented that product for 20 years. So 1974 to 1994, they sold it very expensive rates. Why? It's a very wonderful coffee. Then Jacobs Monarch found another way of the technology. Today, in your discount stores, you may find lots of varieties of instant coffee within non-branded or private label, also Nescafe. But they are selling today around $100 per kilogram, 1 kilogram of Nescafe Gold. But the competition sells exactly the same instant coffee. Maybe quality or the aroma taste could be different, but the way of knowledge for $25. Nescafe is 4 times expensive. They can still sell, but when your knowledge is known by others, it is not valuable anymore. Who is the concept cafe section all over the world? They are selling $400. Yes, dears. I could count that third wave coffee owners and the Starbucks in one from the site. Why? 1 cup of Americano needs 10 grams of espresso from the beans, and they are selling around the world like $4 per cup. Sorry, $2 per $4? No. Yes, $4 per cup. So it makes $400 when you want to drink 1 cup of a coffee in one of the Starbucks store. That is the reason. The concept is in 80s they invented that Starbucks concept. When you check the old Starbucks advertisements, they are invite you. Here is your working table. This is your saloon. Let's come to your room. This is your friend's room. Starbucks is your home. So they are serving like you are at your home. You may like or don't like, but Starbucks is very popular in most countries, and they are full of people inside these Starbucks. Why? WC is free and Wi-Fi is free. Especially in Europe, it is the lifesaver. When you go abroad, the Wi-Fi is very nice option, and plus the WC is lovely. You don't need to pay for it. Even you don't need to buy 1 cup of coffee to use their toilets. So if we would like to increase the value of our message from $5 to $100, we have to use the concept H rules. Most of the concept H using the storytelling techniques. Even for the Starbucks or IKEA, they are not doing the business which sends to the moon. They are selling the stories behind. I want to ask at that point a question to understand what is concept H. Who has the only shoe non-branded? In other terms, who has in their home Adidas, Nike, Reebok, Camper? These are the brands. Who has only non-branded shoes? The shoemaker shoes. Or do you pay money Non-branded sports shoes. None of us. Why? Nike says just do it. Adidas says practice makes perfect. Or Reebok says running with Reeboks. So all of them has some, okay, I can understand the qualified is different, quality is different, for the sports section is different, but we mostly use our sports shoes while we are going to our and the pastimes to our office or while driving. It doesn't matter that which quality is your sports shoes. So I'm going to show there is a one methodology to increase $5 business, the value of the $5 into with the concept selling it to $400. All the things are really important. We have three takeaways from the concept page. Before, feature and benefit was very important. Now, meaning is important. Before, what we said is important. Now, how we said is more important. And the best thing for working in Pfizer, what is the meaning of what we do? What is the purpose of our business? So it is the lovely thing, the reason why I am working in Pfizer, the meaning of our business. So if we mix these three key takeaways, we will successfully create storytelling methodology. So in that point, I want to start story, but before going further, let me share one link. Showing the links uh, in WebEx is really hard. Please watch what makes hero in our 15-minute break. We will hear it in the Turkish local time is 14:30, so 2:30, but it's in your local time zone could be different. So 2:30 your local time we will meet. Please watch that video. The video name is What Makes Hero, and also I'm going to share the link from the chat screen. You may click and get the chat. Hello again. Welcome on board. Are you here? 30 past. Half past our local time. Yes. Thank you. Yes. Let's start to this methodology of storytelling. What is story? How we can create structural conceptual stories. Yes, we are not an actor or actress. We are even not from the drama school. We don't know acting. We don't writer. We are not novelists, but we able to copy their style. We get influenced from their style. Robert McKee, this is the guy from the Hollywood's first story making book publisher. What he says, the language of our mind is the story. If a person wishes to present his own thoughts in a story, the listener will not resist it, embraces the speaker. So the first thing regarding our stories, it has to be from real life emotional connections. Then with this emotional warmness, you may catch the other side and start to influence them. Dears, okay, it is not a day for the HR today. It's not a HR day, but mostly we are inside the Pfizer inside the Pfizer, we are entering interviews. So I bring a technique for you. I bring a change maker story canvas technique. While you are thinking to change something, it could be your position, it could be your different level of the Pfizer, or maybe you want to enter a PhD. If somebody is going to ask, could you describe yourself? Could you acknowledge us regarding yourself? You may use that technique. The important point, dears, for the storytelling of yourself. Could you share your story with us, for instance? Or as a Pfizer employee, you are going to one university and you want to share presentation for Pfizer Turkey, Pfizer Romania, Poland, Russia. It depends on your country. The starting point, you have to represent yourself. You may use that technique to start with warm storytell and catch the other side from the 70% of emotionally connection. How it's possible? We are dividing your personal story into three: past, present, and future. The biggest mistake what we have doing in our self story, we are mostly focusing on the past years. Which schools you graduate, where is your family, where are you from, blah blah blah, how many years you are working for Pfizer. Lots of data, very few regarding today, and mostly nothing for your future information. The first thing you may change, okay, please share I grew up in your city, memorable incidents. Why? There's an emotion here. I studied your school, I work at your business. Aha or ah moments. Why? This is also emotions too. So from your past, while you are preparing your own storytelling, your self story, from your past, you have to find some emotional points, mix them with your aha and ouch moments, and connect it to today. Who am I today? With the reason why you are in Pfizer and this position, you have to find a connection from your past. Maybe 1 year ago, maybe 20 years ago. It's up to you, but you have to connect it with your past. Why? You are telling yourself. In the second phase, for your present, the problem I am solving is, or you can change the problem word to opportunities you are seeking. What I do, my partners are, the challenges I face. You may describe these, okay, for the present. And everybody's wonder about the personal stories. What is coming next? Dears, we don't watch movies for the past. We would like to watch movies for the last scene. So everybody's wondering what Engin is looking for. What is his plans while I am showing myself on the scene or in a WebEx? So this is an example. In year 2021, the world will be like this. I will be doing this. I want you to, my message to the world or my message to my team, my tips to another change makers, my tips to other applicants if it's a job position. So it's a very lovely, heartbreaking, heartwarming, a good methodology of yourself storytelling. A quick tips, none of us, we don't want to listen more than 40 seconds of the others' past stories. If I started to mention about my high school, my middle school, primary school, even in the high school, I started in the math section, then I changed to literature section. I graduated from the science high school, but I entered the business administration, blah, blah, lots of things. Even you are not from Turkey, even you may be engineer, I am from business, the course I took, lots of data for my past. After 40 seconds, you don't listen me. Why? 47% of the people not in my topic. Be aware that don't tell anything regarding your past more than 40 seconds. But if there's a memorable incidents, and aha and ouch moments could be shared with others. Why? It includes emotions. Okay, 40 seconds is must for your past. For present, what I highly recommend, maximum 120 seconds, which means 2 minutes, and at least 120 seconds for your future plans. Please look into yourself. Which leader you want to listen more? which person's story is the best. When you check it, the people whom they are talking about the future and their future plans. Please look at Bill Gates today. Please look at Elon Musk. They are not looking behind and telling the people, hey, I invented the Windows operation system. What a nice operation system. 1996, I first introduced. No more history. He's looking always the future. Same the Elon Musk. He created the first Tesla Roadster, but he did not mention the Tesla Roadster anymore. He is going to mention about Hyperloop, Mars, and the other planet travel opportunities and their giant spaceships. Future is important. This is for yourself. I'm going to share that canvas with you so you may feel within yourself. Okay, what is the story level? Here's we have two dimensions in our story. People are seeking to looking for a conflict. Conflict? Yes. If there is no conflict in the story, if everything is very well known, we don't like these kind of stories. So something needs to be crunchy. If the Netflix movie very understandable and very guessable, the next scene, we don't like to see. What it says, it's very cheap, it's easy. But the conflict is the thing that mixed ourselves, the concrete ourselves within the story, what they are telling. So the first thing, I after you watch the movie, actually the hero's journey, the business version of the hero's journey, from the TED video, you may see that the ordinary world and the real world, there is a 12, starts from 1 and ends from the 12. I also going to share with the people who attended that WebEx, the ordinary world, special world canvas, and the self-story making canvas, change maker canvas, and that story model. From the hero's journey, we change it a little bit for applicable to business world, but let me show you within their words. First thing, we have to create atmosphere. Why? This, please remember the success example. Bartosz said money for the success. Monica said Trump. Maybe Trump is not related with the money. There, the two is belongs to training team. One is says money, cash, maybe in the gold. I don't know, but it depends. It no, not Trump, not the. Sorry, my spelling. Triumph means that not the President Trump. Triumph. Okay, Monica, thank you so much. So we have to create atmosphere. What is the atmosphere? Please describe the world you are telling the story about. Giving some info. How we use that create atmosphere in our presentations? Yes, in the beginning, very draft, agenda sharing will be our atmosphere creation. Then please introduce your hero. In most of the cases in our Pfizer world, hero is our products. With that products, we are healing the world, right? Introduce the hero. Hero could be sometimes you for your story, or maybe if you want to give address or to give references to anybody, you may use that hero for yourself. And then when you first create the atmosphere, please check your Netflix movie. They are starting first to give the atmosphere, which place, when is the movie is going on, what kind of conditions, everything they are serving. Then in one upon a time, they are showing the man or the female character who is the main actor. So he will be the hero. Then start the story. You may use hero, your project, in your real life example. When you start the story, always you have to find a problem, and that is our monster from the movie you already watch. The monster, the problem. So the thing is, the flow of the story should be stuck in that problem, and there is a one bird on top of the our what was the name of this one? Not the dungeon, but what is the name of this in English? I missed.
Dragon.
This is all, yes. A dragon.
Dragon.
Thank you, guys. Dragon. Dragon shows in the Ted Ed Hero movie, and also the oval. What is oval describes in the ancient history? It's maze. It represents the wisdom. Why? There, the angle of the view almost 180 degrees. So it is the wisdom. So he is the one wise person, one wise thing should be give you a direction in your story. So think that you explain the SMS world, how the your world it is, then maybe your new tool in Force RX, P Force RX, P Force X. Start the story. The customer facing colleagues use Force RX since blah 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 information for your story. And what is the problem? Problem every Friday evening, they have to connect to system and synchronize the data they are making. This is a huge problem. There's why we have to wait 5 days to get the data. In some cases, data loss, blah blah. I don't know the problem, but why ask or give the direction? Show it could be for our work, maybe our manager, maybe your inner sound, your heart, you may find, maybe your director, maybe one webinar you already heard. But the key thing regarding our vice person, they are not coming with you, guys. They are not fight with you. They are not solving the problem for you. They give only the direction. Hey guys, please do it, create it, blah blah. It's up to your project. Then after we solve the project with the help of with the direction we have taken from our vice person, we are solving that problem. That is the Pfizer world. We are problem solvers or opportunity seekers. Perfect team, very nice. But most of the presentations in Pfizer finish in the project. We do the creating atmosphere, showing everything goes well. The presentations I attend so far in the last 3 years, and we are best problem solvers inside the projects at the launching the project or the end presentation, or even asking for the approvals. We are doing very well and showing how to solve problem, and this is the problem solving place. Dears, we are not watching the movies for the solving the problem. Maybe the meteor is coming to the world and hit the world. 8 billion people going to be die. We are not watching the movie how the meteor outside the surface of the globe and by the NASA shooting that meteor with the nuclear missiles and rescue the world. We are not watching how to hit that missile, the meteor, and crash it before the meteor hitting the world. We are watching it the next scene. So that point is climax point. Why? Remember the love stories? Poor guy, rich girl. They have very conflicts regarding the families. They couldn't meet other, lots of problems. One wise person says that, okay, go and get her. Please find her, blah, blah. And at the end, we are watching, they happily marry. But again, we are watching one more scene, the climax point. After the meteor rescued the world, after the NASA rescued the world from meteor, the last scene is mostly emotional touch. Why we are rescuing the world from meteor? Why 8 billion lives because of human mind. The story gives one taking points, action items. At the end, they give the last course. So next time when you describe your project in SMS or another position, when the next time expressing your medicine gives 11 months without progression likelihood. I think it's in the cancer without progression livelihood, right? The key benefit is here. What we say, the 45% of the people quit from smoking for our champions. The number I don't know very well, but this is the solving point. Okay, hey doctor, if you give champions to your patient, 45% will be quit. Here you have to mention about the one more sentence. So 45% of our nation smokers will be live 12 years more, and maybe they will get one more kid because of that 12 years. I don't know. It's up to your story. But I have one storytelling canvas, more structured way. Dears, first you have to mention about what is the story about. Second is what do you want to achieve with this story, and who is your audience. These are the three key starting points of storytelling canvas. You have to write down before section. You have to think that the meeting participants, what does the participants think, feel, know, want before they have experienced your story. You have to briefly describe here. Then we are starting our story. This is the basic formulation of business telling stories. Telling business stories, sorry. Telling business stories. First, set the scene, represent your atmosphere, and show your hero, you know, from the TED Ed here. What do you need to introduce? What should be set up for explained? So please be aware that your participants, your story listeners, they don't know your story, atmosphere, and hero. You think that they know, but please take them 0 point and prepare your story whom never nothing know regarding your subject. The second place, make your point. The audience, which place? Your problem solving place to finalization place. Okay, the moment means that how you solve your project or how you find the opportunity to finish that project. The last thing is the conclusion, the end of your story. What is the conclusion? What is your call to the action? So for the Pfizer standards, we are doing very well for the subject, goal, and audience. These three has to be written down for each one. Before version depends on your audience skills, and this is for your presentation side, the storytelling. This is your presentation. And the last thing is after, what you put as an input, what you get as an output. So could you get the 70% success rate of changing the behaviors of the others? Why? You use the emotions during your story. So storytelling canvas from that way is enough. Why? We are not again actor or actress, we don't have drama. You may not good at writing novels, but this is the story. For here, dears, I have one good option, the 9-step business presentation flow offer here, which so while you are starting setting the scene, what kind of things you have to mention about 9 step of business model canvas will be very useful. So some of my friends are from that course. Also, we are in selected certification program. So this is the 9 box business model canvas from the design thinking perspective. We are going to mention about during that 3 phase of storytelling, the 9 steps of business. How to prepare business is should be have 9 steps. So let me get a little bit information regarding that business model canvas. Again, if you attend that course, I'm going to share all these canvas with you. There's inside your set the scene stage, you have to first mention about, yes, this model starts from right. First, your business customer segments. You have to start from the human. Okay, who is this project, this story about? Who is in the center? So if it is the SMS project, and if you do because of the customer facing colleagues is their life, you have to mention about customer facing colleagues here to explain their world. Maybe you may start your story that customer facing colleagues that they are almost visiting the 20 different doctors per day, and their iPads, they're like a right hand, so they are always connected to the internet, everything is shown, blah blah. You have to give some information. In the second place, when the people are accepted your customer, you need to think about, okay, you choose what do you want to give them. So in the second place, after you explain the set the scene, the beginning, the end of the set the scene, you may mention about the value propositions. So this is my value proposition: instant synchronization sync system, instant sync in ForceRS. Today we are syncing our ForceRS once a week, but we want to sync it instantly. What it gives, okay, this is my value. So let's start your story. Which channels you need? Force RX, P Force RX. And when you finish that project, so the instant synchronization, how you will get your customer like their heart actually. How you can track the feedbacks from your customer. Please mention about this one. Why this is a heart, the relationship. This person has to aware that that value proposition comes him or her to get their relationship. And at the end, the managers will want to see that, okay, nice project, bro. What is the revenue of that project? Please mention about the revenue. In our example, it could be 30 minutes per week. This is our revenue. When they approve that 30 minutes with this huge project, when they approve it, after that, in the 6th line, in the 6th phase, please ask for resources. There's we need 2 headcount and $100,000 financials for this one. 7, what kind of a key activities you may do for that project. What we need coding. What kind of a key activities. And last thing is, who is your key partner? Please mention that. In that situation, is IBM my key partner, and GCO colleague is my key partner, etc., etc. At the end, the cost structure, what is the cost of that 30-minute productivity? You may mention about the $200,000. So now it seems that a very beautiful business like storytelling with your emotions, with the hero's journey, you have to give some essence of the storytelling. It does not mean that please write a novel, tell the stories, and the managers couldn't understand anything regarding your project. At the end, they will ask, okay, Engin, you told the beautiful story. what is the business. So this is our business. We just wanted to add some stories. Where you can add stories, dears, please make story for your customer. Please tell their daily life or the expectations in the human understanded way. What does it mean? Put some emotions. Maybe you may give a scene that set the scene like, think that, dears, as a customer facing colleagues, you are driving a car 200 kilometers a day. You are spending almost 3 hours driving your car or parking your car. Maybe at that time you may think that, Engin, are all managers know that the customer facing colleagues' lives? Why I need to recall that memory again? Yes, that is the point. We are setting the scene. Otherwise, it comes like a success different than the Monica and the Bartosz. You have to explain everything within your words. Then value proposition could be storylines, channels. Business wise, I don't recommend your channels. Customer relationship, you have to be story, give the emotions, stories to customer relationships. And revenue streams, this is business. Key resources, this is business. Key activities, business. Key partners, it could be story, could be added into the story. And the cost structure, there's a serious point. Please share with our story. No story, cost structure. So what I'm going to share with you today, at the end of today, when I recap all the sessions, dears, Giacomo Rizzolatti and Vittorio Gallese, they found mirror neurons. Today, the mirror neurons used to control bowling style communications. We have to be very effectful. We have to increase the awareness and change the behavior. Don't forget that the half of your community not at there, even in our WebEx. You may only 7 seconds to get the attention of the other side. And please be sure that telling only the data is not effect as telling the data with the emotions. Please remember the cigarette example. And the concept age is which is the adding value to our business, and the concepts, all of them has story behind. Please think Uber, Spotify, Apple products, all successful companies have stories. Even in our business, the knowledge age is our Upjohn team's products. While we are selling the Lyrica, Neurontin, and are very blockbuster products, we know only to produce and the patent rights with us. Now we unfortunately lose them. Today we are running to the concept. Get old is a one concept, or breakthrough products to change the patient lives, another concept. So we are going to here. Please use the what makes hero principles. You may use Changemaker story canvas to express your own story. And all movies from the 1000 years ago, all the novels use the same story model based on the what makes hero movie. And that story canvas used by business. Inside your storytelling canvas, you may use business model canvas. For today, it's my time is up. If you have a question, please share. And I'm going to meet with you after the WebEx with our email, sharing all these canvases.